Morning, guys. So, I find myself fascinated by the question of where religion comes from. And this morning I was reading the Principles of Sociology by the British philosopher Herbert Spencer, and he had some really interesting things to say about the evolution of religion, from a pantheon of gods and spirits into a more coalesced system with a centralized, omnipotent God, and all the other gods getting subordinated and managed in various positions. I've talked about him before here, and you can hear the segment on the Episodes tab, but as a reminder, Herbert Spencer wrote in the mid-19th century, and he's mainly known for taking the concept of evolution from biology and applying it to every other discipline like physics, psychology, and sociology. And his idea in religion is that in our earliest days, the first gods, and that's gods with quotes, were probably dreams and ghosts. Because think about how weird it must be to dream without having a conception of what a dream actually is. I think that if you're in a primitive society without language even, it could very easily be taken as some kind of mystical or magical experience, right? I mean, you close your eyes and suddenly you're somewhere else, somewhere fantastical, and then suddenly you open your eyes and you're back where you were. You'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be bugged out. And of course, we also know that certain plants could produce mystical experiences, or at the very least hallucinations. And I think all these things would give us the idea that the mind and the body are separate, right? That aside from just the material body, there's something else, the spirit, what today we would call the mind or consciousness, that can leave the body and go somewhere else, into dreams or hallucinations. And this would explain why so many early societies were animistic. That's a type of religion where you believe that everything has a soul, from a tree to a river to an animal, and of course, people. So Spencer says that in the beginning, God was probably just another ghost, like the spirit of a previously powerful person. And he has this theory that is really cool, that Yahweh originally meant the strong one, and was meant to refer to a local warlord or warrior, who later became worshipped as the god of hosts. And the idea is that when a powerful person dies, that ghost, his ghost is quite dangerous, so it needs to be propitiated, and you do that through elaborate burial rites and gifts and offerings, which is something we see in every culture, from the pharaoh's funerals to today, really. And even in animals, because if you go on YouTube, you can see countless videos of elephants holding what appear to be actual funerals. And as time passes after the death of that powerful person, the memory of the individual fades, but the tradition, these burial rites, they become ritualized, and they become the basis for a lot of the rituals that form religious worship. And the Romans did stuff like that as well, because they actually deified a lot of their rulers, made them gods before they died. Even Julius Caesar, he was a god. He was a Divus Iulius. And I really like this idea, right, that the Hebrew God might have just been some dude with a big sword or an axe. He's a guy who ate and drank and bled, farted, and probably fucked a whole lot. But in general, it's just such a cool question. Where does religion come from? Where is that point in which we go from being animals who, as far as we know, don't have a religion or a belief in God, to beings that actually believe that there is something otherworldly, there is a spirit, and that over all of these spirits there is maybe an overarching spirit that subordinates all the other ones, and that is omnipotent. Anyway, just an early morning musing for you guys. Hope you have a wonderful bank holiday Monday.